here for the tour? Welcome to Samet Industries headquarters. Woo! So this is basically where all my design, printing, testing, measuring, all that happens here. So I guess we'll start over here in this corner. I've got my three Ender 3 Pros. So these are your typical, cheap, reliable, easy to use 3D printer. This is my OG, the original. I bought this one a while back. Currently, I use it to print all of my ABS parts. ABS is like a really strong engineering material, really heat resistant, fairly chemical resistant. This is what all my cup holders are made out of, shift knobs, things like that, interior parts that you don't want to sag in the heat. So you can see it's actually in this fully built enclosure. So that has a heater built in the back of it that is digitally controlled with this thermostat here. So ABS, if it's not heated as it prints, kind of likes to warp and crack as it forms. So I built this big enclosure just to make cup holders really easy to print. So this thing basically just prints cup holders all day, every day, 24/7. And since that one was so busy, I bought a second one a while back. This one's currently mostly printing PLA parts. PLA is like a very standard, easy to print material for printers. Not quite as heat resistant, but still fairly chemical resistant. I've been using my PLA to print my turn signal spacers. So I print those 4 pairs at a time on that printer down there. These take like 19 hours to print all 4 pairs. The cup holders take about 26 hours to print, so they're fairly long prints. But and these are all available right now on the festivastore.com. So if you see anything that interests you, make sure you check it out there. And then now that both of these have been so busy printing stuff almost 24/7, I got a third printer recently on sale. So this one I have set up to print TPU. TPU is like a flexible rubbery type material. It's what a lot of like phone cases are made out of. They're really flexible, soft rubber. So I'm using that to print rear washer reservoir caps. So like for LX and GL models with rear wipers. These replace the stock cracked ones. As you can see, it's like a nice rubbery type stuff. I also have a prototype design. I printed this on TPU by accident, but just to give you an idea of how flexible this stuff is. This is the rear seatbelt cover, or sorry, the front seatbelt cover for auto belts. So this is a stock one. This is probably the cleanest stock one I could find because almost all of them are always cracked in some way or chipped off. This one's got a huge chip and a huge crack here. So, but here's one I printed, a test file, so I redesigned it and on shape, and you can see just how flexible this stuff is. It's pretty neat. So then I also recently designed the radio bezel for the Festiva. So you guys maybe, actually let me grab one up here real quick, familiar with the front bezel for the Festiva. These often crack on the top edge, or you have these clips on the side that chip off. The bottom edge where the screw goes in, those chip out. So really hard to find these in good condition anymore. So I actually redesigned these from the ground up so I can try to print them. However, they are like 10 millimeters too big to fit on an Ender 3. So I recently went ahead and bought this. This is a Tronxy X5 SA 400 Pro or something. Basically, it allows me to build stuff 400 millimeters long, 400 millimeters wide, and 400 millimeters tall. So with this, I was actually able to try to test print these. And so I've got this one over here. This was my first test print on this, so you can see it fits pretty well in this bed, compared to being too big for the other one. So those are going pretty good, except just recently I've had some issues with the motors on this kind of skipping around. So Stephen Bloomfield over at Bloom Tech is helping me make a new circuit for this. He actually bought one for himself. He was having similar issues, so he designed his own firmware, got a new circuit board, made a custom enclosure with a touchscreen control, all this fancy stuff. So I'm basically just copying what he's done. So I've got all the parts ordered for that. Just haven't had time to install them. Hopefully sometime this week I'll have this thing up and running again and be able to start test printing more of these. And then long-term goal, I'll be able to get this into its own enclosure and I'll be able to make these out of ABS so it'll last a really long time. And if you are subscribed to me on Patreon, so patreon.com/SametIndustries, I currently have a couple subscriber tiers, so like $6 a month or $15 a month if you want to throw some money my way, since I don't have any ads or anything on YouTube. Just help pay for some content creation. I've actually been printing these badges out. So these are 3D badges. Actually, you print them in 2 colors. You print them in black, then halfway through I switch it to a white filament, and that makes the letters white. So you can stick these. I have some in my toolbox. I've got one in the back of one of my cars. I put one on my computer recently, but basically I'm giving these for free to any of my $6 or $15 Patreons. I'm also working on getting some shirts designed and made up soon, so we'll have Samet Industries t-shirt, maybe some other merch coming out soon. I'm also working on stickers. I have a couple different versions of the Samet Industries logo in sticker form, and those will be available on the Festiva store soon. So like I'm talking in the next couple months, you should see stickers. Any of the parts you see printed over here, these are all going to be available on the Festiva store soon. I'm also working on prototyping some of these shift stabilizer bar bushings. So these are just another type of TPU, so it's still nice and soft, a bit softer than the yellow stuff I was using. So I've got the test files done. I've actually got a couple of these installed on cars right now, testing in the real world just to make sure they hold up to the heat and vibration over time. I even got 2 of these actually sitting in a vat of used oil just to make sure they stay oil resistant. So far it's been going great. They haven't gotten swollen at all. They haven't really changed color. But I just want to make sure that they're going to last before I list these, since the stock rubber ones are now basically impossible to get a hold of. So hopefully you guys can see some of these in the store soon, along with a ton of other files I've been working on. Basically anything I could try to design, I've been putting it in on shape and just kind of working on the design here. So like the dash bezel you guys saw, I've got a fully designed rear beam, headlight hole retainers are coming back in stock soon, that lap belt trim you just saw, badges hopefully coming soon. I got a couple of those test printed in ABS. They went pretty well. I think I just want to size them up a little bit. I also want to try to get some chrome paint, so those chrome paint pens that paint the top of them chrome. But I have L, GLX, and L Plus all ready to print. So hopefully some of the stuff you'll be seeing soon on the store. So yeah, that's pretty much Samet Industries in a nutshell. So hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. I've got a couple more videos coming soon, and then towards the end of summer I'll be pushing out a lot of content. So keep an eye on the Facebook page and the YouTube channel. Get subscribed, and I hope to see you guys next time. See ya!